Um, I am actually excited for this segment. I'll keep this segment going each month. I will release new content every month on Team News Start TV. I will keep this segment keeping up with research going. Keep this happening every month. There are tons of new research comes out each month. Not all of them are particularly interesting or relevant to us, or actually say something we don't know already. Um, I will pick the most interesting and relevant research to us, and we will discuss them here. Um, Sometimes when we talk about research, the conversation can get a bit technical. I'll try my best to keep it to a more practical side and really look at the things we can take away from the study and how we can actually apply them with our training, nutrition, and day-to-day life. But sometimes we have to discuss about the research methods and study design, because with different research methods and study designs, the way we can apply their findings change. You will see what I mean as we go through the studies. In this one, we have few different study methods, so it's good we can discuss about few different study methods and how we can actually apply their findings. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so before I go into actually, I want to mention this as well. So uh, for you to take away and apply their findings, you don't have to necessarily absorb all the information, all the technical stuff, all the study methods. You don't have to absorb all those information, as long as you go away with the key take home points. You are good. I will talk about how we can what are the key takeaway points and how we can apply them. So as long as you are taking them, all good. But yeah, so I want to do things properly. So I want to discuss about the study methods because the problem uh, that's one of the reasons that that's one of the reasons why um, media misrepresent a lot of research. Um, Either they don't know how to what they actually mean, or they actually they purposefully doing it. Like when we talk about observational studies, you will see we cannot establish causation with observational studies, but um, media does it all the time. They will just take their conclusion of what they found, then they will put it out as actually this happened because of this. Okay, it'll make more sense when I talk about the observational studies. All right, so this one, the first one, listening to music before an exam help you score more marks with a question mark. This is a randomized control trial. With randomized control trials, the biggest advantage, we can establish causation. With randomized control trials, we only have one variable. It's the variable they are testing. So we can come to the conclusion the result happened because of the variable they tested, because they only had one variable, and everything else they kept the same. Right. This study, 112 nursing students, 75% of them females and 25% of them males. One group engaged in music therapy and progressive muscle relaxation for 1 hour before exam, and other group did nothing. So progressive muscle relaxation is a form of therapy. It involves tightening and relaxing muscles in a specific order, one at a time. It's been around for like 100 years, so it's been around for a while. Right. The results of the study: music therapy group had lower heart rate, lower blood pressure, and lower cortisol levels. Cortisol is the stress hormone, so they had lower levels of stress hormones as well compared to the other group. Music therapy group scored more marks and had lower fail rate. So the key takeaway here is pretty straightforward. Listening to music and progressive muscle relaxation before stressful events like exams may help you relax, perform better, and improve your academic results, right? So not all studies are straightforward like this. So the next one is not straightforward like this, right? The next, sugar sweetened drinks and heart health. This data from California teacher study. It's a popular one. It's a prospective cohort study. It's a type of observational studies. I mentioned before with observational studies, we cannot establish causation. So that's the main disadvantage of observational studies, but they have a lot of advantages as well. With observational studies, we can study a large group for a long period of time. So like here, they studied over 100,000 people for 20 years, right? So that's a huge group for a long period of time. 8,848 CVD incidents were reported during 20 years of follow-up. In this study, they considered soft drinks, sweetened bottled water and tea, and fruit drinks as sugar sweetened beverages. Self-administrated food frequency questionnaire, that's a limitation itself. The two main problems with self-administrated food frequency questionnaire: one thing, people lie, and the other one, people forget. There are other studies done to actually measure how much people remember when they fill out self-administrated food frequency questionnaire. When they go back more than 3 days, that it gets very, very inaccurate. I do this food frequency questionnaire with my personal clients as well. When someone starts, when a new client starts to understand how their current nutrition pattern. When people go past 3 days, they don't really remember what they ate. I mean, think about it. Like, do you remember what you ate a week ago? If you're someone follow a nutrition plan, if you eat the same thing over and over again, you might remember. But this is just general population. These are the people who ate just whatever they can find at that moment, so they don't really remember what they ate a week ago. Right. Results: observed higher risk of cardiovascular disease in women who consumed one or more serving of sugar sweetened beverages per day compared to none and rare consumers. They observed the same thing with people who consumed fruit drinks as well, right? Okay, so before I talk about key takeaways, I want to explain. I want to talk about something. Right, so imagine we have two groups of people. One group are like us, people who train, pay attention to nutrition, try to have good nutrition habits, good health habits, get enough sleep, train, active. And the other group is just general population. Think of one of your friends that just eat junk food, or breakfast, lunch and dinner from McDonald's, drink large Slurpees. We get these two group of people and we mix them. Now we don't know who came from which group, and we have one pile of water bottles and another pile of soft drinks. We send now the group is mixed. We send them and tell them to pick a drink. Who do you think more likely to pick water? The people who go to gym, who are more health conscious, right? And who are more likely to pick soft drinks? People who don't pay attention to their health, right? So when this study come to the conclusion, or it's not a conclusion, so they're finding, they observed higher risk of CVD in women who consumed one or more serving of sugar sweetened beverages per day. Right. So these people are likely to have other bad health choices as well. So we cannot establish causation. They got they got cardiovascular disease because they drank sugar sweetened beverages. So we cannot establish that causation. We cannot say that CVD incident happened because they consumed sugar sweetened beverages. But there's a correlation, but we cannot establish the causation with this type of studies, right? But these type of studies help us to understand behaviors and how people live in a free living setting. So these are not bad studies. They are great studies. Sometimes you have to be careful when you see things on social media or from on news to actually investigate a little bit. Actually, at least to look at how they conduct the study, right? Right. So the key takeaways of this study. Actually, it would be very interesting to see how many of these people had out of 8,848 people, how many of them were in their how many of them were with sorry about that. Okay, let me try that again. It will be interesting to see how many of them were within their healthy BMI range. If I had to take a guess, I would say most of them would be out of their BMI range. They would be in overweight or obese category. But I couldn't find that data. Authors did not mention. So yeah, the key takeaway. When you drink calories from sugar sweetened beverages, it's very easy to overconsume. You can drink a Coca-Cola and be hungry after 10 minutes. It doesn't really fill you up. You can drink a high calorie smoothie and be hungry again. So it's very easy to overconsume calories when you drink calories. It's a terrible choice for general population. It can be useful for athletes who has a high energy demand. Sometimes you have to consume liquid calories, but for general population, it's a terrible choice. With fruits, eat fruits, don't drink fruits, right? All right, let's move on to the next one. Right. Smartphone use close to bedtime impairs sleep quality with a question mark. Purpose of this study: assess the effects of restricting mobile phones use before bedtime on sleep, pre-sleep arousal, mood, and working memory. 4-week randomized control trial. This is another randomized control trial. Fantastic. Sorry about that. 38 adults assigned to 2 groups. Restriction group were advised to stop phone use 30 minutes before bedtime, and the other group they had no restriction. Result: restricting mobile phone use before bedtime for 4 weeks was effective in reducing sleep latency, increasing sleep duration, improving sleep quality, reducing pre-sleep arousal, improving mood, and working memory. Right. The blue light comes from electronic devices, promote wakefulness. So practically, if you are someone work with electronic devices till late, with laptops and computers, one thing you can do, you can install this application called F-Lux. So it's Google F.Lux. Install that, then you can set a time time to block that blue light comes out of the screen, I usually work late with my laptop. So I have that time set to 6 p.m. So after 6 p.m., that application blocks out that blue light comes out of the screen, right? So you can do the same thing with phones. Night shift mode. Yeah, with phones, if you activate night shift mode, I have night shift mode. I have night shift mode set up to activate after 6 p.m. So phone does the same thing. They block the blue light, right? All right, key takeaways: reduce smartphones use close to bedtime. That's obvious. Like I said, if you have to use them, do something to block the blue light. Yeah, so it would have been interesting to see if they had a third group in the study, and actually they they were instructed to use phones till they go to sleep, but night shift mode activated, so there's no blue light. So we can actually investigate how much difference it would make between the blue light and actually using phones. So, but they didn't, so we don't know yet. If you are someone, I talked about that already. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next one. All right, most diets lead to unsustainable weight loss. Again with a question mark. Purpose of the study: to determine the relative effectiveness of dietary macronutrient patterns and popular name diet programs for weight loss and cardiovascular risk factor improvement. All right. So the study, this is a meta-analysis. So meta-analysis and systematic reviews are they are research summaries. So in scientific evidence hierarchy, they are considered as very strong evidence. So in this meta-analysis is more to do with statistics. In this one, it's a pool of data. They had 121 randomized controlled trials, including 21,942 participants. So how that works is, when you want to study something, when you want to get the summary and look at the overall studies, they will pick the studies in that area, and they will remove the studies that does not fit the criteria. So if they pick 100 studies that fit the criteria, and each study, if each study had 20 participants, that'll come to 2,000 participants. So now we have a large pool of data instead of looking one study. Hope that makes sense. Participants were overweight or obese, BMI over 25. Compared effects of 14 popular diets: low carb, low fat, DASH, Mediterranean. Results: most diets contribute to weight loss with little differences between diets. So I'll talk about this before. There are other studies. The most of the popular diets, when calories and proteins matched, they produce very similar results. These effects largely diminish at 12 months. This is something we see over and over again. People fail after they stop the diet or in long term, because people don't, when they diet, they cut something out, but they don't necessarily understand how energy balance works or how they can maintain their results long term. This is something I figured very early into my coaching career. So if you have been following the content I've done and the things I talk about early, few years from few years back, I have a structured refeeds with my clients. So when they finish working with me after 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, whatever the time they work with me, when they go on to free living conditions, they know how to live their normal life and actually maintain the results and improve from there. Also, all my clients get access to a program called maintenance program. So in that one, everyone who finished coaching with me just get access to that automatically. So in that one, I teach people how to track calories, macros, how to eat at ad libitum. So ad libitum diet is, it's just the word literally translate to eating at one's pleasure. So you don't, that's basically, that's a method that you can stay in shape without really tracking calories and macros, and portion control. There are, I teach few different methods. All methods are different methods can be useful in different situations. So when they go into free living conditions, they have the tools they need to maintain the results and improve from there. The problem why people fail long term, because they don't understand how energy balance work and what to do after they finish a diet. So yeah. All right, cool. Okay, so the main takeaway point, yeah, whatever the diet you do, spend time and try to understand, spend enough time to understand basic principles of nutrition. They're not really complicated. You don't have to be a nutritionist to understand this stuff. They are very basic. Yeah. And okay, yeah. Before move on to the next one, if you're doing a diet by yourself or working with a coach, if you're working with a coach, just ask them to help you and teach you how to maintain your results after you finish. Yeah. All right, long term, this is the last one. Long-term legume consumption improves glycemic control in diabetics. Purpose of the study: legumes have been shown to acutely benefit glycemic control. So acutely is in the short term. However, the effects of habitual consumption are less clear. So the purpose of the study, they want to investigate the long-term, medium to long-term effects of legume consumption on glycemic control in diabetics and pre-diabetics. Whew, I was trying to say that like without breathing. All right. It's a systematic review. Again, it's a pool of 18 randomized controlled. Fantastic. The result: long-term legume consumption improved glycemic control in individuals with diabetes. This effect was not seen in non-diabetics. Right. So practical and take home point. If you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, it will be beneficial for you to incorporate legumes in your regular diet. If you are non-diabetic, you will not get the glycemic control benefit, but there are other benefits, so it's still beneficial to use them. Awesome. I am terrible at, that's the end of it, but I just realized I'm terrible at estimating the times it will take me to do the videos. I thought I'll be able to finish this video in 10 to 12 minutes, but it's almost 24 minutes. All right, awesome. I will see you guys in another video.